Hello, 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 and welcome to our 30-day metabolic liver release. So you may be wondering, why are we calling them releases instead of challenges? Well, it came to my attention, I think, through the last couple of challenges that some people didn't like the word challenge because it sounds quite confrontational. And that is definitely what we don't want to be doing, is doing confrontating. Confrontating, is that a new word?
No, being confrontational, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, confrontating. I think that's quite a nice word, really. But yes, it's confrontational. And so consequently, that's why we're calling them releases, because we're wanting to release everything that doesn't suit us, everything that isn't actually lifting us up and making us feel good. So everything is all about making us feel good. So we're going to be doing concentrate. We're going to go through the basics today. So this is basically, if you've been on challenges releases before, you'll know the drill. So basically, we're going to go through the basics of what we're going to be covering. And then over the next few weeks, we're going to dive deeper and deeper into the liver and the metabolism and what you can do. This is the most important bit, is what you can do to support yourself with it. And so that is what we're going to be covering today. So I'm going to just see if I can bring up my slides so that I can remember what I'm actually doing, which is always useful, of course.
Mm.
And so please don't hesitate to ask questions along the way. This is, if you just pop them in the chat, then Sarah,
I'll
my
keep an eye on
trusty
it.
um, admin lady, and with lots of knowledge, she'll bring the questions to my attention if we need to go through it right now, or if we need to just go back to it when we finish the presentation. I'm trying to make these meetings maximum an hour if possible. Now, of course, if you've got loads of questions, we won't be able to do that. But if we
Mm.
can do that so that you know that you haven't got loads and loads of time to spend, but so it's just sort of going through this. So welcome and thank you for joining us on our new journey, actually, with in the membership portal. We're pleased to say that we're off of Facebook, apart from promoting and everything else, and things are going to be changing quite a bit over the next few weeks. And so, if you've been a member of Food and Frequencies, things are going to be changing there. We're going to be making an announcement there soon. So just to let you know, things are changing. And after all, life is all about change. And
Yeah.
if we're not changing, we're actually stagnating. And that is definitely what we don't want to do. So, in our 30 days, we're focusing on key areas as usual: reducing inflammation, releasing stored weight, and in this challenge, release. I'm going to have to get my head out of challenge and into release. But, and we're going to be working on your liver. And so the liver is vital as part of our metabolic pathways. So we're going to go through a little bit of that today. So if you think of this journey as a support for your whole being, so we're starting off with focusing on liver, and then we're going to, as I say, we're going to dive deeper and deeper into this wonderful journey into our amazing, amazing bodies. And so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on food. So do not forget, the food list is in the group if you haven't already got it. I've got it in various different areas. I've got it in the new, I put up a new classroom today, and that is there. The food list is in there, and in that PDF there's also your measurement chart and also your weight charts, so you can make sure that you write things down. The other thing we really, really encourage you to do is do the measurements weekly. Start today, tomorrow, do your measurements. And then every week, do measurements. You'll be delighted with the results because honestly, they really do shift and change quite rapidly. Even if your scales aren't sort of doing what you think they should be, don't worry about it. Everything will be working. And so we're going to be working with the low inflammatory food list. Now, if you are wanting to go carnivore, then over the next few days, I'm going to be putting videos in carbivore to carnivore and carnivore classes. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be adding more and more videos and things in the portal so that you can have a look and see what appeals to you or not. Now, the thing about low inflammatory is it literally works for everyone. And many people, if they have health issues, then they just want to go deeper, then the carnivore is the way to go. I always recommend that you go into carnivore slowly. Now, the reason I say that is that's now, but when I first got people onto carnivore, for some, we introduced them too quickly. And what happened is they got diarrhea for long times, and then also constipation that wasn't good. And so consequently, and also all sorts of things can go wrong in the long term if you go into carnivore too quickly. So that's why I did the book Carbivore to Carnivore. And so with Carbivore to Carnivore, you start on the low inflammatory foods. And then you slowly, slowly, over the period of 6 weeks, you gradually cut out vegetables and things. And it's always good, I think, to start slowly with anything that's going to be a long-term health um, program because it's habits, isn't it? We're all really, really good at going back to old habits that haven't perhaps served us. And so when we do it slowly, we're more likely to build up really good, healthy habits for us. And so this is what we're going to be working on is chronic inflammation. So chronic inflammation, if you've been in my world for a while, I talk about this all the time. Chronic inflammation is the root cause of every single dis-ease. And that's really quite a big statement, isn't it? But it is a root cause of every single dis-ease process. So consequently, if we can reduce chronic inflammation, then we're going to start healing ourselves. And when we start healing ourselves, then the weight starts to come off. Then we start getting more energy. Then we start feeling better in our own skin. And so this is what is so important with this process. Look at the low inflammatory food list. Don't look at it and go, yeah, I know this. Look at it and make sure you're not fooling yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? Basically, if you go in the low inflammatory food list, you look at the list and you go, yeah, 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 I know that. And I've had so many clients who have carried on with their cauliflower, or they've carried on with their mushrooms, or they've carried on with their fill in the blank that isn't on the list. I want you to know this list inside out. I want you to really acknowledge what's on there and what isn't. If you acknowledge what's on there and focus on that, don't focus on what you can't have, focus on what you can have. And so I thought I'd go a little bit over what our liver is doing and why it's so important that we look after it. And so if we look at the processes, our liver processes over 500 chemical reactions every single day. And that's the ones we know about. It's constantly clearing out toxins, excess hormones, and metabolic waste. If it's sluggish, nothing else works properly. So the liver produces bile, which I'm sure you all know, which is essential for breaking down and absorbing fat. It also decides whether fat gets stored or burnt for energy. A healthy liver means better fat metabolism, which is why we put them together in this process. So it's a really, really important one. And also, and it's a really big one, this is your liver processes and clears excess estrogen, cortisols, and other hormones. When liver function drops, hormones get backed up and imbalanced. And that is a really important thing for especially us women, but men as well, because let's face it, they have hormones too, and they have to clear hormones too. But most of us, it's the cortisols that we really need to work on and to clear. And so by working on your liver, if you can get your liver functioning better, then we actually cope with stress far easier. And so it doesn't mean to say that the stress goes away. It just means that we can cope with it better. And also, the liver is very involved in managing insulin sensitivity, and it also stores glucose. If you support it, then you're supporting stable energy and better metabolic health. And so it's actually, I'm going to go over that in the next few weeks, is about gluconeogenesis, which is where the body gets protein and it converts the protein to sugar if the brain needs sugar. But I'll go into that in the next few weeks. And so I just really wanted to do the basics today. And so the liver really is doing a huge, huge job. It always has. But in modern life, we're exposed to so much more chemicals and toxicity than we've ever been exposed to in human history. And it will struggle if it's overloaded. And so we really need to make sure that we do a good job of looking after our lovely liver. And so avoiding processed foods and additives. Now, all of them are refined. And so they're refined, and the liver has to process every single one of them. It's like asking someone to sort through junk mail all day instead of doing their real job. And I don't know about you, but my folder in my emails is full of junk mail. Absolute chocker. And every day it takes me ages to just delete, 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 delete. And I probably delete some good ones too, but basically so much gets into our inbox, and the liver is the same. So if we think of our liver as our email inbox and how much we're having to do a bit of damage limitation. So we're all exposed to plastics, pollutants, and synthetic chemicals constantly. They accumulate very quietly over time and they build up in the system because the liver just can't cope with eliminating them. And of course, chronic stress is a major. When cortisols stay elevated, the body diverts resources away from liver repair and regeneration. And then, of course, the liver can't maintain itself properly. So if you have sluggish metabolic pathways, the liver has phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways. When these get congested, everything backs up. The whole system slows right down. Again, I will be talking about phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways as we go along. They're really exciting. I know it might sound a bit sort of nerdy, but they really are exciting if we understand them. And so the key message to this is metabolism doesn't slow because the liver is weak. It slows because it's congested and overwhelmed. And many of you have heard of fatty liver, and many of us actually have fatty liver and don't even know about it. It's only when you have severe fatty liver that you get symptoms. The main symptom of fatty liver is a pot belly. And so many of us have that. And so consequently, it's a really good idea to give the liver a break. So by having unprocessed food, by not exposing ourselves to chemicals and everything else as much as we possibly can. And that means what you put on your skin as well as what you put in your mouth. So many of our so-called natural soaps, natural shampoos and conditioners contain chemicals that our body doesn't know what to do with. So it might be natural. It's not necessarily natural for us to have it. And so consequently, it's actually being really mindful. And it's again, that message is keep it simple. Simplicity is the key. Simplicity with foods, simplicity with what we put on ourselves and in ourselves. And so that is going to be the major key for everything we do here. So it takes away a lot of the stress of our body. And it's a bit like when you go shopping. If you go shopping and you're eating a standard Western diet, you have so much to choose from. There's aisles upon aisles of things that personally I would not call food, but people put it in their mouths. So I would suggest to you, if you've been on a standard Western diet, then please, please, please don't go down too many aisles. Go to the vegetable aisle, the meat aisle, and just pop up the oil aisle and maybe the herbs and spices. So basically, I want you to start this with basically how you want to feel by the end of it. If you can keep calm about all of this, I've talked about this a lot, is if the calmer we feel inside, the better off we'll be. So anything you can do to keep yourself calm is going to be one of the best things you can do. So I would highly recommend that you take time out when you have a cup of coffee in the morning. I encourage you not to have your phone in your hand, but maybe to focus on the view you have outside or on something that you really love. But take a little bit, a minute or two can make all the difference between a stressed body and an unstressed body. And so consequently, if you can keep yourself calm as often as possible, then it becomes habitual. And we are talking really here about habits. So weight struggles aren't about discipline or willpower. It's really about setting the scene, setting your intention, and doing what's right for you. Okay, so the four main drivers of weight getting stuck is insulin imbalance, which keeps the blood sugar spiking, which prevents fat release. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which promotes fat storage. Low-grade inflammation is constant, even if you don't feel it. And low-grade inflammation is one of the major root causes of stress within your body. Also, insulin imbalance. And so those insulin and stress can be caused by low-grade inflammation. And also low-grade stress, which is chronic stress, can be caused by many different things. So that is caused by normal stressors, which you can calm down with sitting with your tea and that sort of thing, like I talked about a minute ago. But also it can be other things that are out of your hands. So like work stress, but also it can be low-grade in infection. You can have a pathogen that's being the body's keeping under wraps, but it's actually causing the body stress. So like a parasite, bacteria, that sort of thing. It also can be chemicals. So by keeping chemicals that we're putting on ourselves or what we're ingesting by breathing it in, because the thing, I don't know if you know, but a smell As soon as you smell it, it goes directly into your brain. So if you can smell a chemical, it's affecting your brain. And so consequently, if you can make your home as natural as possible, smells like essential oils and everything else can be very positive. The pheromones and everything that can be really positive. It's the things that are masking other smells. So some like those plugins and glades and things like that, they can be incredibly detrimental, especially to the central nervous system. They're what we call neuroexciters. And that includes natural repellent, insect repellent, the pyrethrins, which is a daisy, natural, right? Very toxic to our nervous system. So if you've got one of those on timers, those insect repellents that are on the wall, I would recommend that you turn it off. You might have a few flies, but you can do peppermint oil on the walls and everything else. If you're washing your walls down, peppermint oil can actually be a natural insect repellent. It also smells okay if you like peppermint or even lavender. You can mix the two. Both of them are really good insect repellents. They might attract a few bees, but nothing wrong with that. Okay, so what we're looking at is getting the insulin balance. We're um, basically unloading the liver so it's not dealing with everything on a daily basis. And basically what we're working on is bringing everything into balance. And so it means that your metabolic rate, your hormones will balance, and so will your liver will actually love you for it. So as I say, this is what the core things we're going to be working on in the next 40 days. Low inflammatory foods. Many of you might be bored to tears with me talking about low inflammatory foods, but I'm going to carry on talking about them because they're really, really important. If you eat low inflammatory foods, when your liver isn't overwhelmed, it can focus on what it's doing best, releasing what your body doesn't need. And that also includes fat. It also calms inflammation throughout your system. So you're not just doing it through the gut, but you're releasing inflammation through your system. And so we're going to be doing intermittent fasting, which is structured eating windows to give your body dedicated time to repair and reset. It actually helps lower insulin levels, so it activates your body's own natural cleansing cycles. So if you think of it as giving your digestive system regular breaks and your whole system to do deeper work. Plus, we mustn't forget, make sure you are taking Salt Soul. I've added the video to our class and the video to make a Salt Soul if you haven't made one before. One thing on that video, it does say to take a teaspoon. You actually need to take a tablespoon. So start with a tablespoon in the morning and a glass of water. And after a week or two, then add another one in the afternoon. If, however, you have loose bowels, then you don't need to add another tablespoon. Just keep it to 1 tablespoon. Your body will adjust and everything will balance. So we're going to be restoring proper hormone signaling, the communication system that tells your body how to function. So, and we're doing targeted nutrition and lifestyle practices, which they all work together to rebuild your foundation. And of course, you're not doing this alone. We're all in this together. We're all doing this process. We also have 4 beautiful guides, apart from me, to help you along the way. Now, I popped a video which we made this afternoon where we all got together on Zoom and I sprang it on them. I sprang it on them that we'd made a video because basically, yeah, it's always good to do off the cuff because it's fun. And so they shared a little bit about who they are. And so I would encourage you, ask questions and they can keep you motivated. We're here to keep you motivated. We're here to answer questions and there's no such thing as a silly question. We just want to make sure that you are able to stick to this. It's the sticking power that makes this different. If you can stay to the low inflammatory food, do the intermittent fasting, drink your water with salt, and if you have your drops, take your drops. And if you've got the metabolic duo, take those. Then you're going to start feeling better quite quickly. But if you don't, there's always a reason. Now, there's always a reason why something doesn't work the way you think it's going to work. So, for example, if your weight is stuck, there's a reason. Your body could be working on something underlying it, or there might be something else that's blocking it. Your body is telling you something. So I always encourage you to listen to your body. It's a really important component of being healthy. If you have communication between your brain, your heart, and the rest of your body, then you are going to have a coherent system. Because if your body knows you're listening to it and you are listening to if you have a pain, right, why have I got a pain? And your body will share it with you eventually. Once it does that, then you're going to have this communication system where you go, oh, my body doesn't like that. It doesn't like that at all. I'll just share a little story. I on Friday night, my husband and I decided to go out and celebrate. I'm not going to tell you what we were celebrating, but we were going to go and celebrate. So we went to a local bar, which is normally really quiet, and we thought we'd have some calamari. And my gosh, when we got there, it was packed and it was noisy. We got some calamari. I had a glass of wine, but that doesn't normally do that for me. Anyway, I didn't feel too good. And I thought maybe it was because there were so many people in there. I'm a bit sensitive, you know. I'm not normally that sensitive, but I'm a bit sensitive. Got home and I felt absolutely diabolical. Anyway, the next day I woke up and my hip, my right hip, was killing me. It was agony to get out of bed. I never, ever, ever get that, by the way. And anyway, I worked it out. I thought to myself, what did I do? Because I always go, right, okay. And it turned out it was the calamari. And I felt it was the seed oils that the calamari was cooked in. And I asked our resident clairvoyant medium, Julia, and she confirmed it, that it was the seed oils that was causing inflammatory process that actually caused the pain. And it felt like joint pain. It felt like, I don't know what arthritis feels like, but it felt like that. And so consequently, I took my charcoal and then the next day it was gone. So when you get to know your body, you can knock things on the head pretty quickly. Because I don't believe we should have aches and pains by a certain age. I don't believe that we shouldn't be able to do things because we've reached a certain time in our life. And so consequently, I believe there's a reason for everything, and we can always find out that reason. And so our wonderful community and our wonderful guides can help you. So what I would suggest is have a look at the little video that we created and then have a conversation with us all and see if anyone resonates with you to work at a deeper level. So this is what community is all about. And so here, I'm just thought I'd go into a little bit of why intermittent fasting. And so many people say, oh, well, I don't think I can do intermittent fasting. I feel a bit deprived because I don't have breakfast. Well, it's a hugely valuable tool. And it's about giving your body time to repair itself. And magic happens in the fasting window. When you're not eating, your body gets a metabolic space to heal. So if we look, once you stop eating, then insulin levels drop naturally. It activates fat metabolism after about 16 hours. So your body goes into ketosis, which means you're using fat as energy. And it also triggers cellular repair, and this is called autophagy. And your cells are getting cleaned up during that time. Even a sort of shorter time period of intermittent fasting of 12 hours you can create real change. But I would recommend that you eat your food between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Now, if you're a real morning person and you want to have your food, say 9 o'clock, then you just have to make sure that you finish eating by 6 o'clock. So it's pretty simple, really. You've got a 9-hour eating window, but only 2 meals a day. So no snacking in between if you can help it. If you get starving hungry, then maybe have a piece of your fruit or some jelly. It's in the books. So you can have that, but try not to. Try and eat, if you need something, try and have it as close to your next meal as possible. Because that way you're going to become much more metabolically flexible. And that's a really important component of getting healthy, really. The metabolism is a sign of good health. If you have a good metabolism, then you are on the road to having your best of health that you possibly can. So we don't really need to go into this slide too much. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reducing inflammatory load. We're going to be restoring hormonal signaling. We're going to be nourishing our liver. And nourishing our liver is basically having low inflammatory foods. And also we're going to be prioritizing sleep and recovery. I encourage you to have a good night's sleep. Try and go to bed as close as you possibly can to darkness falling, and get up in the morning if you can with sunrise. And that way your body's circadian rhythms will become in tune. And that is where you can actually really get the better health. So it's getting enough sleep. So you don't have to start that, but maybe, for example, if you go to bed at 11 o'clock generally, try going to bed at 10. And then if you go to bed at 10, then try and get up by 7. And then maybe 6 o'clock, whatever works for you. But I think it's a really important thing. We really need to prioritize having good quality sleep. Turn off all lights. Make sure you have no devices in your bedroom when you're sleeping. Turn off the Wi-Fi. We're going to go deeper into this sort of thing a bit later. But it's a really important component. These devices can really interfere with glycophagy, which is where basically we've got a brain detoxification mechanism that works when we're asleep. So these devices are really detrimental. Never have a TV in your bedroom. If you have a TV in your bedroom, make sure it's turned off at the plug. Do not use it when you're trying to sleep. Also, the residue of that TV being on stays for about 2 hours, I believe, after you've turned it off and unplugged it. So I always recommend don't have a TV in your bedroom. I know it doesn't always work for everyone, but please, if you're going to watch something on TV, turn it off as far away from going to sleep as you possibly can. Okay, so over these next few weeks, we expect you to get really positive experiences. We expect you to get more energy. We expect you to sleep better. We expect you to feel better in your skin, as in you don't have so many aches and pains, and your digestion should be improving. Now, this will not be a constant state of improvement. It will be up and down at times. If your weight is going down, then we know that things are happening. We know that your body is healing. If the weight gets stuck and maybe you don't sleep too good or your energy levels have dipped, then your body is working on something. Don't worry about it. Just rest. Allow the body to do its job. It's really important. And so we are amazing beings. Our body can heal itself. We just have to give it the right ingredients to do so. And as I said, it's normally very simple. Okay, your role. Well, basically, it's about stick to the food list. And it's about showing up constantly for yourself and be curious and be patient with yourself. Your body is always working for you. Your job is to create the right conditions for it to thrive. Don't criticize yourself. Don't look in the mirror and go, well, that blob's gone, not there, it's gone, not gone, or or don't do it. Just look at yourself and go, pick on the thing you really like about yourself. And even if it's your feet, just thank the universe, thank your body for doing what it can do. Thank your body every time you put one foot in front of the other, because it's miraculous what it can do, really, when you think about it. Now, also trusting the process. Metabolic shifts don't happen overnight. The body heals in layers. So 30 days of consistency beats one perfect day. Small repeated actions compound. And, as I said, lean on us. Lean on the rest of the community. Share what you're experiencing. Ask questions. Draw strength and support from each other. Share results. Good, bad, indifferent. If you're struggling with something, share. If you are not sure about something, share. Ask. It's important. Communication is vital for every aspect of life, but it's even more vital for health. If you communicate with one another, communicate with us, then we can help you more. So this isn't about being the strong silent type. This is all about a journey that we're doing for 4 weeks at least. And if you think of this week as you're laying the foundations, everything else depends on getting this right. So we're starting the journey with low inflammatory food, water, salt, and then we move on from there. Next week, I'm going to be sharing with you a very, very simple liver flush, which doesn't take a long time to do, but it is incredibly, incredibly effective. So that's one of the things you can look forward to next week. So we're going to be clearing out what's blocking, rebuilding from the ground up, and the natural outcome is when everything's functioning properly, then you are going to be feeling better. And, of course, you're going to be lighter. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. It was longer than I anticipated, but hey, okay. Questions? Oh, it's nice to see everyone's faces. I've just been seeing the slides. So it's lovely to see you all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, questions. Any questions, Sarah?
No, we've got it all covered.
Oh, cool. Well, that's good.
Tag team.
Tag team. That's fantastic.
Done. Let's go home.
Yeah. Enough now. Okay. Right. So, anyone want to share what their goals are for this 30 days? You can do it in the chat.
You're welcome, Nats.
Well, I want to get back on the program. I feel like I've gone off track and off track in the last little while. I just want to get back on. I'm not feeling great, and yeah, I've had a really sore arm for months now, and it's kind of like wearing me down. And I know that's got something to do with it, but I just feel like it's been wearing my energy down. And
Right or
I
left
had,
arm, Jenny?
I had a left and right arm because I kind of
Oh, okay.
fell with my arms down. But I've been
Oh,
having physio for like 6 months now, and one arm's got okay. The other one is it's just kind of constantly aching, and yeah, so I kind of want to get back on it just because I'm sure there's inflammation there, and I don't know what else to do with it. And sometimes it's just I've had enough of it.
yes.
So yeah, I want to
You-
get back onto an anti-inflammatory diet. I mean, like, you know what I mean? I've done
Yeah.
that kind of work for me. So yeah, that's my goal, is to get back on, because I have gone off track and I need to get back on track.
And the thing is, you can do it. And
Yeah,
so, you've been doing the magnesium on your arms?
I've got, I don't know, I had quite a few bottles of magnesium that I bought a few ages ago, and
Yeah.
I'm just using them up because I've got
Mm.
quite a lot. But I'm not sure if there's one that's specifically better than the other. And I think I can't even remember, the label's gone a bit funny on them, what even it is. But they're the big bottles, and
Yeah.
I mean, I attempt to put it on at least twice a day. I know I could put it on more, but it's just
Yeah.
remembering.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one thing I would suggest you do is you pour some into a foot bath, and you do a foot bath on a regular basis as well, because I think that would help. So,
You're talking
oh,
about Epsom salts in that way, you
no,
mean?
no, no. Some of the ones you've already, some of the jars that you've already got, pour some of that in, tablespoon or two. That could really
Okay.
help, because the homeopathics and everything will go through the soles of your feet, and so consequently they'll go in fast. They've all got
Okay.
anti-inflammatory homeopathics and things in, so it won't matter which one you've got. They've all got them. So the other
Do you
thing is
recommend castor oil too, Karen, on the
yeah,
arm? Some
right, really
castor
good
oil?
for nerve endings and things. And another um oil that could be worth, if you feel you've got nerve damage, is St. John's wort, Symphytium oil. Weleda do a really beautiful one, and that can really help heal the nerve endings. And also make sure you're doing your gelatin so you can rebuild.
Can
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
add
have to
something
let
there?
that go.
Oh,
Who's
please
that?
do, Julie.
So, Jenny, although you may feel it's your right side, it's your left side that needs addressing. And then I'm told if you look at however many magnesium gels that you have of Karen's, if you line them up, it's like 1, 2, 3. The third one is the one that you need to topically apply.
Whatever one goes into the third line.
1, 2, yeah, because you'll be like, that's the oldest, that's the next one, that's this one, that's what I'm shown. So whatever that third one is, that's the one you need to be topically applying, and it's to the left, even though I'm being told you feel like it's more to the right, it's more to the left. And then,
So,
yeah,
I mean, it was sore because I've got like bursitis. It's sore on my right side, but underneath on my left side of the arm is now worse. I wonder if that's what you're meaning.
yeah, it's
Because the
that.
left arm isn't sore at all, but it's just absolutely aching on the right side.
Yeah, it's that. Treat that.
So you think it's on the
And then,
inside?
but yeah, then continue, like do what Karen said and do the foot bath and all the rest. But it's
Okay.
literally, it's the opposite side to what you think it is. So it's the left, and then it's literally however you line up Karen's products, whether her magnesium gels are in the oldest to the newest, 1, 2, 3, whatever that is, it's that one that you need to be using
Okay.
topically.
All right.
Put the
Thank
others
you.
in the foot bath, but 1, 2, 3, apply that one to the left.
That's good.
Thank you. What would you suggest, Cyril, with the castor oil? I haven't got a pack, but what could I put it on there? Well, how often do you think?
Even just a warm flannel and then some
Okay.
gastric around that.
Yeah. And you can wrap, if you can wrap it with cling film for a while, because it's if you can heat up the castor oil. If you heat it up, it becomes much easier to deal with, but also it'll absorb into the skin easier.
Mm.
Okay, I'll check. Can you just remind me where to buy that good one again? Castor oil?
I
Honest
get mine
skincare.
Honest Skincare. Yeah,
Honest skincare.
yeah.
Yeah. They've got a sale at the moment. If you buy a certain amount, you get a little mini bottle as well.
Oh,
A handy travel size one.
oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Now I'm ahead.
Yeah, fantastic. Gillian, I want to reset my body clock, going to bed early and getting up and doing things early. Yeah, great idea. It can be a bit challenging at first, can't it? So I'd just do it slowly, just do it like come to bed slightly earlier and then get up slightly earlier. And so just doing it nice and gently, I think would be beneficial for you, Gillian, because I know you work so blooming hard. So you need to give your body a break. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sue, before that, Karen, I'd like to get my blood pressure down.
All right. Well, the great thing about blood pressure is low inflammatory foods can do it, but then it might mean you might need to add cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is fantastic for blood pressure. I've got a few other things I can recommend, but those would be the priority to start with. And then, because how long, Sue, you want to unmute yourself. Um, have you been struggling with blood pressure for a long time?
I think I've been on blood pressure pills for about a year, but it was only
Right,
mild before, but now
right.
it's suddenly got a lot worse. And I really don't know why.
Have you been having enough salt?
Yep, I have my 2 tablespoons of salt a day, or the
So,
salt.
drinking enough water?
I believe so. 2 to 3 liters a day,
Make it
including my
3 liters?
tea.
I'm
Yeah.
told no. I'm told she's not drinking enough water.
Okay. So how much should I be drinking?
At least 3 liters.
Yeah,
Okay.
3. It's enough salt, but it's not enough water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that can be all the difference between having blood pressure, high blood pressure, and not having high blood pressure.
Okay, cool. I'll try that.
Because if you think about what the blood pressure is, it's if there's not enough liquid to push everything around in the blood,
Mm-hmm.
it can be something as simple as that.
Okay, I've
But
definitely.
also, there's things you can do to make your blood vessels more flexible, because it's the contraction of the blood vessels as well. So
Mhm.
it's the flexibility of the blood vessels is very important. That's why cayenne pepper can be really useful, but magnesium is vital too. It's your flexibility nutrient. And I know
Mhm.
you've heard me talk about boron as well.
Yeah.
That comes to play too. I can see Julia thinking about this. So what have you got to say, Julia?
So I'm just tuning in and having chats with some other people. Um, it's about getting that first liter, and as I tuned in more, it's about getting the first liter and a half in the morning,
Right. Okay.
right? So with that salt, but that first, because I was like, is it just the first liter? Can the rest be spread out? But no, I'm told you need a sounds awful. Chug back that first liter and a half. You need to get that in before we get to lunchtime
Okay.
and then get the rest in. Like if you can put more in before midday, that's great. But that first liter and a half, whatever that difference is going to make to you, I'm being told you need to get that in earlier. Yeah.
Right. I'll do
Other
that.
thing is make sure you get your blood pressure measured in the morning.
I've been doing it for the last week. Yeah, and yeah, it's all over the shop. So yeah, I'll
So
definitely
where
have
is
a
it?
look.
Where is your blood pressure?
It's hang on, I got a photo here. It varies. It's between let me find my photo. Um, So the morning, 6:15, it started at 187 over 100. And then it's down to around, well, today it was 170 over 97. So it's quite high. And I am on medication as well, but it is coming down slowly. And so like it's been 166 over 94. Yeah. So
Okay, so is there any major stressors going on?
nothing out of
Nothing I think of.
normal. No.
Are you really sensitive normally?
No.
No, okay.
As I keep tuning in, I'm told to put more of the salt sole into that first litre and a half. So if you can get like a couple of tablespoons into your first litre and a half,
Okay.
that's
That's
for
enough.
some reason, if you do that in the morning, this is where I don't understand. I just tune in and get told. So if you can get the 2 tablespoons of that into your first litre and a half for the morning, that's going to have an impact for however that's going to play out for you all the rest of the day and sharpen your results.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Brilliant.
And if you don't like the taste of it, add lime
I don't mind
juice.
it. I've gotten used to it. I find it
I
fine.
really like it, but
Yeah.
for somebody who didn't, I said to them, if you add a ton of lime juice, then it just tastes amazing. Salt and lime juice and water, it's great. But yeah, just get a couple of tablespoons in your first couple of litres.
Yep. Okay, I'll do that.
Awesome. Awesomely awesome. So,
Thank you.
yeah, stress keeps adding up. Yeah. Unless it doesn't.
Yeah, but it can be major. You know, this week I found out my older brother's got to have heart surgery. My sister's being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I've been to visit my ex-husband on the farm, and he was an asshole. I took my daughter down to spend some time with him, and yeah, and it's just kind of weird as it end.
Wow, that is a lot of stress, isn't it? So what you have to do when you have that sort of stress levels is you have to do you have to do something for you to combat that. And that might be walking, it might be going and having a massage, it might be meditating.
I had a massage today, and I've been spending a lot of time by the sea.
Nice.
I do also have this thing going on in my right sort of wrist that I feel like it's a RSI sort of thing, because I probably need to spend less time on devices, but there's stuff you have to do, and it's worse when I do more of that and I try and use my left hand. I'm just not quite sure. I'm thinking maybe a wrist support, because sometimes at night I bend it in strange ways when I'm asleep. So I don't know.
So basically do the magnesium on your wrist and then put castor oil over the top, because castor oil will drive it in deeper.
Yeah, I was sort of trying that, but I probably haven't been repetitive enough.
Yeah,
I've sort of done it and thought, oh, did that help or not? I'm not sure. And then you get distracted.
Yeah,
so I'll try and be more focused on it.
Yeah, consistency is the key, Susan.
Yeah, I know, but that's the hardest thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, but no buts. So it's totally what Karen said. And then I'm also shown like you can put those oils, put the castor oil over. You can do a cotton glove over the top of that with a rubber or latex glove, so that it's opening the pores on your skin and sucking that oil into it. But it is about consistency. It is totally about consistency. And you don't need what we call it, a wrist brace.
Okay.
It makes you weaker if you have those, so it weakens.
Yeah, no, I was sort of more thinking of wearing it at night, because I'll wake up at night and I've done sort of this with my hand, and I don't know.
So wake up with this, and it's had the oil over it, and it's got a cotton glove over it, and it's got like a latex or rubber glove over it. Sleep in that. Do a few
Mhm.
hours in that because it'll do
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Also, when you're on your devices, just make sure you regularly get off them and go and do something else for 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It can make all the difference. Quite often it's just you're spending too long in the same position.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of
So-
I know everything, but I don't necessarily do it.
Yeah.
Set
That's
an
it.
alarm.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
do that. I started
do
setting
that.
an alarm for every 45 minutes to go and do
Yeah.
something
I
else.
have started doing some journaling, and I find that helps.
Susan, I know it's that you don't do that. Like I'm told is that you don't do that. So that's why I'm saying
Yeah, yeah. You know,
do totally what Karen said.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be totally sorted by following what she said. I
I've
promise.
written it all down. I've got all the stuff. I've been to Honest Skincare today and got more castor oil. How silly is that?
Do the
See,
actions.
you obviously knew it, Susan. You didn't need us to say it, but
Do
you
the actions.
just need the reminder sometimes.
Yeah, and I think some of
Okay.
that's just self-care though. It's kind of like
Yeah.
everything else gets in the way, and you're the
Yeah.
last person that you look after.
Right. Prioritize self-care then. That should be a mantra, actually,
Yeah.
for everyone who's listening to this. Prioritize self-care. Because if you don't prioritize self-care, you can't help anyone else.
Nope.
And as I always say, your health is your wealth. It's vital. So, before we sign off,
Jenny has asked a question. Sorry, Karen.
okay.
Asking,
Is it the same with cholesterol? What do you mean?
Don't know. I think she
She wants
might
to
have
maybe lower her levels.
Yeah, it was about Susan was talking about